Hey y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel PhD, EDS. I am the self-care evangelist here on social media. I hope you all are blessed and highly favored. I talk to people about the importance of personal and professional self-care, and I'm doing it through the Word of God, and that's how I encourage people to do it. So, this channel is primarily geared for a Christian audience, an audience who follows Jesus Christ and the way of Jesus Christ. But you're all welcome here as long as you are not infringing on my rights and the rights of others, right? We're respectfully engaging in a discussion. So, I'm on a road trip, and I was thinking about a video that I made yesterday. Well, the time frame, it doesn't matter because I might post this way after the fact, but I had made a response video to a lady on TikTok, and then I posted my response on YouTube, so you can go see it. She was sharing about her husband's struggle with addiction and how it's impacting the family and their relationship, and her role as a pastor of a church and the implications of it and how it's affecting his life, his productivity or his wellness and, his life, whatever. So I made a response to that, and then I made another video talking about the office, the institution of marriage. And it's a covenant partnership, and the people in the marriage have offices, and they are officers. And that's a revelation that was shared with me way back in the day in the 1990s from a former colleague, and I really didn't get a grasp of that because back in that time we had no internet like we have it today. We had AOL, was that American Online, but it was not a free web search where you could go like to encyclopedias online and resources like that and pull up peer review art. It was nothing like that. So back in that day, I really did not do a deep dive onto that topic, but now I can. So you can watch that, go check and see if I've uploaded that now. Ooh, sorry for the long intro. Why am I making a video today? Because, what is it? When people get married, what is it that they want besides sex? Because, sex is for the marriage, right? Sex is a covenant agreement action that is ordained for marriage. But is that the only reason why people get married? And the reason I'm asking that is because I wonder why the church, well, some churches do, but in general, do churches teach about the offices of the covenant partners and what their roles? Like, I recall when I was attending a Pentecostal church in the 1990s, the teachings, I'm not going to say always, but oftentimes, the majority of the time, any relationship teaching or any teaching dealing with marriage, relationships, sex, gender roles, the tone always seemed angry and accusatory towards women. And I remember that because it would rub me wrong, like the woman was the one always at fault. And then you would hear because Eve was the one deceived. But you all, we have to recognize that Adam disobeyed and Eve was deceived. A child gets deceived, or someone who lacks wisdom, knowledge, discernment is capable of being deceived. Someone who chooses to go, they make a choice to disobey, like Adam did. You know, so the teachings, I feel, should not accuse the women or make all the marriage problems or all the problems in relationships the women's fault. She wasn't dressing right. She gained weight. Her hair, she didn't style her hair right. She didn't cook his meals right. She didn't perform marital relations right, or how he wanted things. No, you know, yeah. Both individuals in the covenanted partnership sinned. And their sins were coming from different postures of the mind and the soul, I guess is how I could say it. A posture of, I'm just going to do it because, well, I'm going to do it because she said to do it. She said do it, so I'm just going to do it. And then it's her fault. Or being distracted, listening to your enemy, the adversary, listening to false information or twisted information, and then being lured and pulled away. You know, those are the two postures. So disobedience and deception. Even though the postures and the mindsets were different, the consequence was the same. Punitive consequences. Sin causes separation. So, I don't know, why do people get married? Like, so when I got married, I wanted to get married because I liked my late husband as a friend. We had good times together. And I loved him as a person because he was kind to me initially. Right? And I felt like we were a good enough of a match. We were on equal footing. Like, both of us were young and didn't have any established career at the time. We were working towards establishing careers. We were on equal footing. So I felt that we could help each other achieve our goals. And that's how we functioned the first 4 years, you know, into our marriage. Maybe I made some side steps and he made some side steps, but pretty much overall, I would say 85 to 95% of the time in our decision making, it was, partnership and collaborative. And then, you know, the marital conjugal part was good because the relationship was good. But if you're just getting married for the conjugal part, it's not going to be good, because if the relationship isn't good, it's going to be a chore. It's not going to be an enjoyable action. So, yeah, this is just me on my road trip thinking and wondering, like, why do people get married? Like, why? If you're getting married just only for sex, you're going to be in for a rude awakening if y'all don't get along and can't communicate and agree, and if you have nothing in common.
600 feet, turn right on it.
All right, so don't get married just for sex, y'all. Because marriage is a headache if it's not good. When it's good, it's good. But when it's not good, it's pressure, it's emotional torment, it's frustration, it's worry. When it's problematic. Now, how do we have good marriages? Like, I'm not an expert, but I can say I believe that listening, humility, listening more than talking. Am I going the right way? Yeah, I am. Listening more than talking is what listening. Listening with the heart to understand. Listening with the heart to understand the other person's point of view. Listening to understand the other person's pain. Listening. Now, but you know what? Even then, if the person has like spiritual problems, psychological problems, emotional problems, and they're not seeking help, then I would caution you to reconsider marrying them. Because you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. If you marry a person, whatever they bring, whatever they're doing, whatever habits they are doing is what you're going to get plus 10 times 10. Right? So, and they can only mask it for so long if they do have issues. So, I don't know. I just think marriage is like, it's too serious to just jump into. So, I don't know. That's why I haven't remarried, because I needed time I married young, and I just needed time to be alone. My daughters were like, Mom, you've never been alone. You've never been alone, Mom. You went from your parents' house. You had a boyfriend in high school. Then you went from your parents' home to being married to marriage. So you were with Dad all that time. And then even when you all split for that time, you had us, Mom. You've never been alone. And see, they needed to see me be alone and function as a single woman, as a widow. Like, I had to learn, like, what is a widow? I hated my friend would jokingly call me Widow Daniel, and I hated it. I hated the sound of it. Like, widow, that's for an old lady. When he was jokingly calling me that, I was in my 40s. Like, don't call me that. That's like an old maid or something. But if you look in the Bible, there are protections for widows. Do you understand that? Widows are we are a protected class of people in the Bible. Widows and orphans. Yeah. Now, some people would say, oh, you don't need protection. You have this, you have that, you have that. Widows do need protection. We need psychological safety. We need emotional protection, social emotional protection. We need to make sure that we are not being taken advantage of in our vulnerability, because we're in a vulnerable state, and we have to learn how to navigate decision making during this grief process, in the phase of like unraveling your life, seeing it unravel, aspects of it change, and learning how to like accept, come to an understanding that my life has changed. It's not going to be the same anymore. I'm not even going to be the same anymore. So yeah, widows, we are a protected class of individuals in the Bible, and I'm grateful for it because I know I needed protection, and I believe that the Lord really helped me to make some pretty good decisions early on, and I saw counsel. Like, you should seek wise counsel. I advocate seeking wise counsel, especially if you're making legal decisions, financial decisions, things of that nature, guardianship decisions, health decisions, any major decision making. Like, as a widow, seek wise counsel from skilled and knowledgeable, preferably godly, skilled and knowledgeable people. Yeah, so marriage is not to be rushed back into, and especially if the only reason why you're rushing back into a marriage is for sex. Sex is a desire. It's an appetite. It's not bad, because appetite's like, it's not bad unless you let it get out of control, right? And you're making bad choices with it. So it can be controlled. You can manage it. You can tell your body how to handle desires, right? And if you don't know how to do that, then figure it out, learn it. Now, I don't mean like ways that are anti-Christ ways either. I'm talking about, like, look at what athletes do. Athletes, they have to abstain for prolonged periods of time. And they do things like they take cold dunks, they sauna, they run, they do different mind manipulations for concentration. I mean, you learn techniques to help yourself manage. And then during that, it's a time for, really, I think it's a time for you to just start being healed all the way through and through. Like, ain't no joke. Ain't no joke, really. The depths and the layers of healing from the loss of a spouse is crazy. It's crazy. And I know, like, I think that, I don't know, me personally, I just think it might just be best to keep that aspect of one's life private until they feel the right one has entered their life. And I don't know, but that's personal choice. So, okay, I'm gonna go because, man, it's getting dark. What time is it? Okay, so they're an hour ahead. What? It must be getting ready to rain or something. This right here looks like, I don't know, 6 o'clock hour in Phoenix. And I'm in Colorado, Durango, Colorado, somewhere. It's beautiful here, though. Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. Let me go.